Have you ever been ghosted? One moment everything is going perfectly, the connection feels real, the conversations flow naturally, and then nothing. She vanishes without explanation, leaving you in a whirlwind of confusion. Or perhaps you've experienced the maddening cycle of hot and cold behavior. One day she was attentive and affectionate. The next, it's radio silence. It's frustrating, even infuriating. You're left questioning yourself. What went wrong? What did I miss? Let's address the uncomfortable truth. Women, like anyone else, sometimes play emotional games. They breadcrumb you, ghost you, or keep you dangling in emotional uncertainty. But here's the most critical point. While these games are not your fault, recognizing and responding to them is your responsibility. And that's where Stoicism comes in. It offers a path to reclaim your power, to rise above the chaos, and to master your... Through Stoicism, you won't just survive the games, you'll transform how you approach relationships entirely. You'll become the steady rock in a storm, the unshakable force no one can manipulate. This isn't about playing games in return. It's about refusing to engage with them, focusing on your inner strength and values instead. Let's unpack how this philosophy can change your perspective and your life. Number 1, emotional detachment, the key to irresistible strength. One of the most powerful strategies in life and relationships is emotional detachment. But let's be clear, detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop allowing your emotions to control your actions. You stop reacting and start responding from a place of inner peace and control. It's about being in command of your emotional state, regardless of external circumstances. Take relationships, for example. Many men freak out when a woman pulls away, acts cold, or gives them the silent treatment. They become anxious, overthink the situation, and feel desperate to fix things. But here's the thing. It's not about fixing anything. It's about maintaining your composure. Women, in particular, will test you. They want to see how you handle pressure. You fail the test if you crumble or chase after them when they withdraw. You reveal your insecurities and your neediness, and that's not attractive. On the other hand, if you remain emotionally detached and stay calm, centered, and unaffected by her actions, you pass the test. Whether she's texting you every 5 minutes or disappears for days, your emotional state should remain unchanged. The more you practice this level of emotional detachment, the more attractive you become. Women are drawn to men who can remain steady regardless of the situation. It signals strength, and strength is magnetic. When you can hold your ground, when your emotional balance is unshakable, you become the kind of man others admire and desire. That inner strength is what makes you genuinely irresistible. Number 2, the art of emotional control. Understanding behavioral patterns. When you start paying attention, you'll begin to notice something. Patterns. In particular, behavioral patterns. Women, like everyone else, are creatures of habit. Once you pick up on these habits, you'll see things you didn't notice before. And why does this matter? Because patterns reveal intent. Once you know the pattern, the game becomes predictable. And when something is predictable, you can outsmart it. The key here is control. incredibly emotional control. The most common patterns you'll notice is hot and cold behavior. One day she's texting you nonstop, showering you with compliments and hinting at plans together. The next day, nothing. It's like she's disappeared off the face of the earth. She's suddenly busy, distant, or acting like she couldn't care less. This back and forth can be maddening, but it's important to understand that this isn't random. It's part of a strategy often referred to as push and pull. What she's doing is testing your emotional stability. The goal? To see if you'll chase her when she pulls away. If you fall for it and start texting her frantically or questioning what's wrong, you're giving her the reaction she's looking for. That's when she has the upper hand. Here's the key to handling it. Remain calm. Don't fall into the trap of reacting. Hot and cold behavior is a test of emotional control. Many men fail this test because they panic and start chasing harder. But not you. You're not like most men. You're going to stay grounded. You're going to let her come to you. When you don't react, you flipped the script. Suddenly, she's the one wondering why you didn't fall for her game. And you've gained control. It's also important to understand that this behavior is sometimes malicious. Sometimes women do it unconsciously, testing their confidence without realizing it. Whether intentional or not, the result is the same. You must stay emotionally steady and unshakable. Another pattern to be aware of is breadcrumbing. This is when she gives you just enough attention to keep you interested, but only partially commits. She might send you a flirty text now and then, or agree to hang out, but when it comes time to make accurate plans, she's still looking for something. It's a game designed to keep you hooked without giving you the emotional commitment you deserve. So, how do you deal with breadcrumbing? Simple. Call it out, but do it calmly. Don't get angry or emotional. Say something like, "Look, I'm not here for half-hearted attention. If you're not interested in spending time together, that's fine, but I'm not going to wait around." You're not angry, you're not chasing, and most importantly, you're not settling for less than you deserve. By doing this, you're setting clear boundaries and showing that you have standards. You're demonstrating that you won't tolerate being kept on the sidelines. The real power here lies in emotional control. Once you master the ability to stay calm and composed in the face of these patterns, you'll find that you can navigate these situations with ease. Recognizing the game is one thing, but the real strength comes in not letting the game affect you. You can't control her behavior, but you can control your own. And that's where your true power lies. Number 3. Commanding respect, the power of boundaries in relationships. Setting boundaries early in a relationship isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about commanding respect. If you fail to set those boundaries from the start, you're sending a message that it's okay for someone to walk over you. It's a harsh truth, but it's one that many men shy away from. They fear that setting boundaries will scare women away. But here's the secret. Women actually crave boundaries. Not because they want to be controlled, but because boundaries demonstrate self-respect, and a man who respects himself is a man others will appreciate as well. The key to setting boundaries isn't about telling someone what they can or cannot do. It's about communicating what you need in order to feel respected. It's about establishing your standards and holding firm to them. For example, let's say she keeps canceling plans at the last minute. Or maybe she leaves you hanging without explanation. The temptation is to ignore it or just let it slide. But doing so only teaches her that this behavior is acceptable. Instead, you address it calmly and directly. You say something like this: "I've noticed you've been canceling a lot lately, and I value consistency. If making plans isn't something you're interested in, that's fine, but I'm not okay with this back and forth." Notice how you're not attacking her. You're not accusing her. You're simply stating your boundary. Here's the magic of it. When you communicate boundaries from a place of self-respect, it forces the other person to either step up and respect you, or they'll move on. Either way, you've won because you've protected your emotional energy. You've given her the opportunity to either meet your needs or walk away. And when she does walk away, you've saved yourself the trouble of being involved with someone who can't meet your standards. Boundaries are essential when dealing with situations that test your patience. Take this common scenario. You're dating a woman who flirts with other men in front of you. Maybe she does it to make you jealous, or perhaps it's a test to see how much you care. Most men in this situation either blow up in anger or stew in silent jealousy. But not you. You don't react emotionally. Instead, you address the situation calmly, away from the heat of the moment. You tell her, "I'm not interested in playing games. If you're into other guys, that's fine, but I'm not going to stick around for that." Again, notice how you're not reacting with emotion. You're setting a boundary and leaving it up to her to respect it. If she doesn't, then you walk away. The power here is in your self-respect. It shows that your emotional well-being is non-negotiable. You don't need to chase her approval. You simply need to respect yourself and let her decide if she's willing to do the same. The beauty of setting boundaries is that it removes the guesswork from relationships. When you clearly communicate your needs and stick to them, you eliminate confusion and set the tone for how you expect to be treated. The result? You gain the respect of others and protect your emotional energy at the same time. And that's a win no matter how the relationship unfolds. Number 4, mastery under pressure, the Stoics' path to emotional control. In the world of relationships, particularly when navigating mind games, one principle stands above the rest: staying calm under pressure. This is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. When tested, the ability to remain composed no matter the provocation speaks volume. Women, knowingly or unknowingly, often test the emotional resilience of men, pushing boundaries to provoke a reaction. They might bring up their ex, flirt with another man, or make passive-aggressive comments. These are designed to see how you will respond. The goal is clear: to see if they can make you lose your cool. It's a classic psychological move, one that many fall prey to. But if you want to stand out, if you're going to embrace a Stoic approach to life, you have to handle these situations with grace and composure. When emotions rise, you must remain unfazed. The power of remaining calm lies in its ability to disarm. The moment she pushes your buttons, your reaction, or lack of it, becomes your weapon. She expects you to react, to become jealous, angry, or defensive. Most men will take the bait, allowing their emotions to control their actions. But not you. By staying calm, you demonstrate something far more valuable: emotional mastery. You show her that your peace is not for sale, that you cannot be controlled by external forces. This is the essence of Stoicism: Consider this example. She casually mentions her ex, perhaps saying something like, my ex used to take me to this amazing restaurant, or I had such a great time with my ex last summer. The underlying goal here is to provoke jealousy, to get under your skin. And the typical response might be to dismiss her ex, to challenge her about why she's even thinking about him. That's what most men would do. But you, the Stoic, remain unbothered. A calm and simple response, such as, "That's cool, I'm sure he was a great guy," is enough. You need to give her the reaction she's hoping for. You refuse to engage with the bait. This unpredictability makes you far more intriguing. Here's another situation. She flirts with another guy in front of you, maybe even in a group setting. Most men would fume at the disrespect, either trying to outdo the other man or becoming angry with her. But a Stoic remains composed. Even if there's a slight sting of emotion, you don't allow it to dictate your behavior. You observe, but you don't engage. This is not about competing with another man or confronting her. It's about letting her see that her actions don't control you. If she's seeking attention from you, your indifference will make her question why you're not reacting. And that is where the power truly lies. The key is simple yet profound. Never let your emotions control your actions. By staying calm under pressure, you show that you are not easily shaken. In a world where most are ruled by their emotional responses, this makes you an anomaly, and an incredibly attractive one at that. The Stoic does not engage in unnecessary drama. He does not let his emotions become the puppet strings of his behavior. Instead, he masters himself and, in doing so, masters the situation. Number 5, the long game. How to avoid the pitfalls of short-term thinking in relationships. Many men lose their way in relationships because they get trapped in the pursuit of immediate gratification. They crave her affection, bask in the rush of her attention, or try to fix conflicts quickly, hoping for a fast resolution. But Stoicism teaches us a different approach. Play the long game. When you focus on your long-term goals, the daily dramas and emotional fluctuations of a relationship no longer consume you. Consider this. If you're building a successful career, pushing yourself to improve physically, and focused on personal growth, how much room do you really have to get caught up in petty mind games? The answer is simple: none. You've got bigger things on your plate. This shift in focus does two things for you. First, it makes you less emotionally reactive because your emotional energy isn't tied to the ups and downs of someone else's attention. Second, it makes you more attractive because a man with purpose and direction is magnetic. A man on a mission is a man others want to be around, especially women. Imagine you've been seeing a woman for a few weeks and everything seems fine. Then, out of nowhere, she starts pulling back. She texts less, makes fewer plans, and generally becomes distant. Most men would panic, overthink, and start scrambling to fix the situation. They'd get anxious, chase harder, and fall into the classic trap of being too available. But a man who has set his sights on long-term goals stays strong. He doesn't care if her attention is on him or not. Why? Because he's focused on something much bigger than the current moment. He's building his life, improving himself, and moving forward toward his goals. If she wants to join him on that journey, fantastic. If not, he won't lose sleep over it. Focusing on your long-term goals brings a level of emotional independence. You stop needing external validation because you're already getting validation for your progress, accomplishments, and growth. The real kicker? When she sees that you're not chasing her or caught up in drama, she'll be drawn to you even more. Why? Because you're different. You're not the guy waiting for her to text you back. You're the guy who is too busy building his life to care about petty games. By focusing on your long-term goals, you not only become emotionally stronger, but also build a foundation that makes you far more attractive. You're not dependent on anyone for validation, and as a result, you become the kind of man that others, especially women, want to be around. You'll stop reacting emotionally to every shift in the relationship and start operating with the confidence that comes from knowing your worth isn't dependent on anyone else's approval. The more you focus on the big picture, the more you'll realize how little time you have for the minor distractions. And in that space, your true power lies. Number 6, the power of calm, mastering emotional control. One of the most common mistakes men make in relationships is reacting emotionally to the games women play. When a woman does something to provoke you, maybe she flirts with another guy or makes you feel jealous, the instinct is often to retaliate in kind. You might flirt with another girl, try to make her jealous, or even pull away to get her to chase you. But let me make this clear. This approach never works. The moment you retaliate emotionally, you've already lost. Why? Because you're reacting to her behavior, and that means she's in control. You're letting her dictate your actions, and that puts you in a position of weakness. A Stoic man can avoid falling into this trap. He understands that emotional reactions are signs of vulnerability, and vulnerability is not power. Instead, he responds with calm indifference. If she ghosts you, you don't chase her, you don't play games or try to prove something. You pull back, refocus on yourself, and keep living your life. If she tries to provoke jealousy, you don't bite. You don't take the bait. You remain calm and continue your journey without skipping a beat. Imagine this scenario. You're at a party with a woman you've been seeing, and she starts flirting with another guy in front of you. Most men would either confront her, show anger, or play their own game by flirting with someone else to make her feel jealous. But both responses come from insecurity. They stem from the need for validation, the need to regain control. But the Stoic response is different. You stay calm. You don't engage. You need to give her the reaction she's looking for. When you don't react, you show her that you are not controlled by her actions. This drives her crazy. Why? Because you've taken away her power over you. You've demonstrated that you can't be manipulated or swayed by games. And here's the real power. When you refuse to retaliate emotionally, you rob the game of its strength. Without your emotional response, the game loses its value. She'll either stop playing it or realize you're not someone she can control. In either case, you win. You've maintained your dignity and control, something no emotional retaliation could have achieved. The Stoic path is not about defeating others. It's about mastering yourself, refusing to be manipulated by emotions, and rising above the drama of reaction. Number 7, the power of clear communication. Clear communication is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. But all too often, people get it wrong. Some shy away from difficult conversations altogether, while others dive in with too much emotion. The result is usually heated arguments, misunderstandings, and unnecessary drama. A Stoic man, however, understands the value of communicating with clarity and firm resolve. He knows that it's possible to speak his mind without allowing emotions to derail the conversation. Here's the secret: communicate calmly, even when emotions are high. This is especially important when you're dealing with someone who may be playing games or acting inconsistently. Instead of raising your voice, pointing fingers, or becoming defensive, express your needs and boundaries in a composed manner. For example, if you notice that she's been distant or her behavior has changed, you don't need to blow up or bottle up your feelings. The Stoic approach is simple. Acknowledge the situation without dramatizing it. This method sets the tone for the relationship. It shows that you're willing to address issues head-on without letting them fester and build into resentment. By staying composed and assertive, you create a dynamic based on respect and honesty, not manipulation or mind games. Clear communication isn't just a tool, it's a way of defining the space between you and her and making sure it's grounded in mutual respect and understanding. When you approach difficult conversations this way, you invite genuine connection instead of conflict, and that's what truly builds lasting, healthy relationships. Number 8, protect your peace. At the end of the day, your well-being has to come first. If you lose that, you've already lost the game. This isn't about becoming selfish or dismissing others. It's about balance. When you prioritize your own peace, you become more attractive, not less. People, especially women, are drawn to those who are grounded, who understand their own worth, and who refuse to let anyone destabilize them. This principle isn't limited to romantic relationships. It applies across the board, whether it's your career, friendships, or family. If you constantly place others above yourself, you end up losing more than you gain. Imagine spending time with a woman, hustling on your side business, or investing in friendships that actually have your back. You owe it to yourself to protect your peace. Here's the reality. The moment you stop prioritizing others' needs over your own and start focusing on your own well-being, two things will happen. Either the people around you will recognize your value and begin to respect you more, or they'll leave because they can no longer control you. Either outcome is a win. You've either eliminated someone who wasn't respecting you, or you've gained the upper hand by setting boundaries and showing that you're not willing to tolerate erratic behavior. Ask yourself, is this relationship, this situation, worth sacrificing your peace for? If the answer is no, it's time to reset. It's time to get back to what really matters, your well-being, and the peace you need to live your life with purpose. Number 9, the power of patience. Patience is one of the most underrated virtues, especially in today's world of instant gratification. It's a tool most men overlook, and yet it's the one that holds the most incredible power. In the context of relationships, particularly with women who play games, patience isn't just a virtue, it's a game changer. You want clarity, you want answers, you want results now, but that urgency, it's your greatest enemy. When you're eager to know where you stand or rushing to get a text response, you're letting emotions dictate your actions. Women know this. They know the pressure you're under to get that immediate response, to confirm that everything is fine, to validate your place in their lives. So they play their games, delayed responses, silence for days, and all the while they're watching to see how you'll react. The typical response for most men is predictable. They panic, they chase, they double text, asking if something is wrong, trying to fix the situation. But you do nothing. And that nothing is the most powerful thing you can do. The next time she pulls away, you don't chase, you don't panic, you don't make a move, you let her come to you on her own time. You give her space, let her reach out when she's ready. You'll notice something important. She will. She will see the difference in you. It's a subtle form of control, not in the manipulative sense, but in a deeply rooted, calm assurance. You are not desperate for her attention. You are not desperate for validation. You are in control of your emotions, your actions, and your time. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. It's about learning to delay gratification in every aspect of your life, in relationships, careers, and personal growth. Good things take time. A Stoic man understands that nothing worthwhile is rushed. The urgency to fix everything immediately is a trap, and in avoiding it, you find peace. Most men fail because they are constantly reacting, chasing after fleeting moments, caught in the emotional roller coaster of immediate desires. They respond too quickly, they engage too easily, and they overlook the long-term picture. But a Stoic knows that it's the long game that wins. Time reveals everything. People show their true nature over time. The rush to settle matters now often clouds judgment. Patience, on the other hand, brings clarity. A man who practices patience doesn't play by the same rules. He's not desperate for attention. He's not seeking validation. He doesn't panic when things aren't progressing according to his timeline. He knows that life moves at its own pace, and forces beyond his control will unfold in due time. When you embrace this mindset, the rest of the world can move at a frenzied pace while you remain steady. You don't bend to every whim. You don't let yourself be manipulated by impatience. You know that the most valuable things in life, true connection, self-mastery, and success are built slowly and steadily. Patience allows you to stop chasing after things that ultimately don't serve you in the long run. It helps you avoid getting caught up in the emotional highs and lows that so many men fall victim to. Instead of getting swept away by every slight shift, you wait. You take a step back and observe. You understand that the best outcomes are worth waiting for, and when you've mastered the art of patience, you're not in a rush anymore. You're playing the long game, and in the long game, you always win. Number 10, the power of walking away. There's a saying that the most powerful position is the ability to walk away and mean it. If you take nothing else from this, let it be that. Knowing when to walk away is a rare and potent form of strength. It's the ultimate power move. It's the nuclear option, the trump card that many men fear to play. But when you play it, you gain control in an instant. Here's the truth. Not every person, especially not every woman, is worth your time and energy. If she's playing games, stringing you along, or disrespecting you, then it's time to move on. You can't afford to waste your valuable time on someone who doesn't respect you. Men are naturally drawn to women who respect themselves. But what's often overlooked is that you must also respect yourself. Respect doesn't mean tolerating poor behavior or endlessly chasing someone who isn't equally invested in the relationship. Walking away isn't a manipulation tactic, and it's not about trying to make her chase after you. It's about knowing your own worth. It's about understanding that you are not going to settle for anything less than what you deserve. Walking away is a declaration that you will not play games. You're not going to waste your time hoping for change when her actions show you otherwise. You've chosen to protect your peace. Think about it. If she's constantly flaking on plans, texting other men, or showing you any form of disrespect, you don't have to argue, chase, or beg. Say, "I'm not interested in being part of this. If you want to be in my life, that's great. But if not, I'm fine without you." That's it. You've maintained your dignity, your self-respect, and your peace of mind. Those are the things that matter far more than any fleeting relationship. Why is this so powerful? It's because most men are afraid to walk away. They're so scared of being alone, fearful of losing her. But when you walk away, you show that you are not afraid. You know your worth, and you refuse to settle. That kind of confidence is magnetic. It's the kind of confidence that can't be faked or imitated. It's rare, and when you possess it, people notice. And the best part? When you walk away, you free yourself from the emotional entanglement. You release yourself from the worry, the anxiety, and the stress. You stop playing a game that was never meant for you in the first place. You become unstoppable. When you know your worth and act in accordance with it, you become a force that cannot be swayed or broken. Walking away isn't just a decision, it's a declaration of self-respect. It's a refusal to accept anything less than what you truly deserve. When you take this step, you elevate yourself and free yourself from toxic attachments. And that in itself is the most empowering move you can make. Remember, this journey isn't about impressing others or gaining external validation. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be, a man who stands firm in his values, who lives intentionally, and who makes decisions based on principle rather than emotion. As you continue on this path, you will find that the people who enter your life will reflect this growth. The relationships you build will be based on mutual respect and genuine connection, not gains or empty promises. Self-mastery is the foundation of everything you desire. It's the bedrock upon which all other aspects of your life will rest. And while it might feel challenging at times, remember that every step forward brings you closer to the man you are meant to be. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep moving forward. The best version of yourself is waiting just ahead.